Good morning, welcome to Matt Brower Outdoors. As promised, I've got a long-term test review of the Mora companion knife. So it used to be referred to as the Mora Clipper. This is mine. I bought it in bright orange because it's easy to find if you put it down or you drop it. Obviously in this environment you're going to lose anything green quite quickly. So the knife itself then, so it's a 4-inch blade. It's not a full tang blade, it comes down to around about there, which it tapers off. You can go online, you can look at the blade banks, they sell separately, and you get an idea of what it actually looks like. So it's Sandvik stainless steel. I've never had any problems with this thing rusting. I've not been overly cautious with it. It's a cheap knife. I've not looked after it particularly well, and as you can see, not a spot of rust on it. You can see from the spine all the lumps and dings in it. That's from where I was trying to batter on wood with a roofing hammer. Completely not appropriate. That's all we had at the time. We were camping and I needed to break some wood down, and I thought it's a cheap knife, I'm not really too worried about it, so yeah, I used that. And I did snap the very tip of the blade off by doing so. So it's a Scandinavian ground blade. I didn't know how to sharpen a Scandi ground blade when I bought this many moons ago. I just went at it with a kitchen steel and some wet and dry sandpaper. So it's not a true Scandi edge anymore. I've actually, over time, I've worn a secondary bevel onto this blade. It's better for edge retention. If you go online and look at the forums and that, they say that a secondary bevel does give you better edge retention at a cost of sharpness, I'd say. I just demoed my other Mora knife, the companion heavy duty in stainless, and that is significantly sharper than this thing, I would say. I didn't have stones at the time, but that's what I had, so that's what I worked with. So yeah, this is 7 or 8 years old, this thing, this tool. For £10 in the UK, can you really argue at that price? I don't think so. Does it still batten? Absolutely. So I'm just going to angle you down a little bit. I'm just going to try and bash through this bit of wood. So, I know this is a huge still. This bit of wood, I should have broken it down a bit, but right, let's give it a try. This is some really hard wood. So yeah, there you have it. You can certainly batten with this knife. Let's see if we can break this bit down a little bit as well. Can you see what I'm seeing? Let's have a look. There you go. Let's see if I can just smash this down a little bit. This knife is, I say, 8 years old. Definitely been used and abused. So you can still batten with it. That was a really hard bit of wood. Can you still feather stick with it? I should imagine so. I'm useless with feather sticks. Let's give it a quick go. It's definitely harder to feather stick with this than it is the brand new one I just bought. I say I am not much cut when it comes to feather sticking things. It's quite crude. As you can see, it's reasonable considering I've been beating on this knife for years and years and years, and I've probably completely ruined the edge by the way I've sharpened it. So I haven't got my fire steel on me today. I just grabbed a few bits and pieces and came out. And that's what I've done with my lighter actually. Let's have a quick look. There we go. Put the blade away. Yes, I know this is cheating, but So you got the makings of a fire there. It's a very, very crude feather stick. Unless you need a few of these to actually get a decent fire going. But you can shave the wood thin enough so you can get it lit with a quick blast from a lighter or a fire stick if you've actually got one on you. So yeah, for me it's a pass on feather sticking still. And that's not bad for a really, really old knife. Can you carve with it? Yeah, of course you can carve with it. Not an issue if you need to make some tent pegs or whatever. You can certainly do that. You can also point sticks and all the rest of it if you want to. So I need something round, ideally. What have we got? Dead wood on the floor. So yeah, you can definitely still do most of the things that you're supposed to be able to do with this knife, and that's after a few years of abuse. Considering how much use this blade's had, I think it's done really well. Let's make that a little bit shorter, shall we? Oops. But yeah, you can see you can still carve with it, you can still make points, you can still make tent pegs with it if you want to. No problems. And that's been really crudely sharpened by me. I'm well, not the best, and especially after this long of using a knife, using a kitchen knife sharpener on it. But you can see you can still shave off easily. Make what you need to out of that. So you can put a point on this, you can drive it in to the ground. You've got yourself some makeshift tent pegs, nice and easy. So yeah, long-term thoughts for £10–12. The Mora clipper, or the Mora companion as it's now called, this thing's held up really well. It's taken an absolute pounding over the years. I've been less than forgiving with it, and it just works, continues to work every time. The only minor niggle over time, the sheath retention does decrease. I mean, not so much that it falls out, you really have to shake it hard to get it out. You won't find that on the newer one. This is my new one. Shaking out, that's not coming out, it's not going anywhere. But one to bear in mind, look after your knife, it'll look after you. Buy a Mora, abuse the crap out of it, it'll still look after you. So I hope you found this little review useful. Get one, get 5, I've got about 5 or 10 floating around the house. They are planning on banning the delivery of knives to UK addresses. I don't know if they're going to push that through, which for me is a bit of a pain because it means I've got to go and try and find a shop that sells these. So I've been stockpiling, I've got a few. Definitely worth £10–12, get yourself a few, give your friends and relatives one. Everyone should have a Mora. Hope you found the video useful. All the best from Matt and Bear.